Welcome back to the channel. I'm here down at Norton Disney on the Billy's Lake on the Embryo complex. 48 hours with Jack from Jack's Carp Fishing UK. It's only my second ever visit down here. Had a good walk around the lake, so we've managed to fall lucky really on a couple of pegs on Billy's that seem to have quite a lot of fish in front of them. 3 solid bags out within 10 minutes, our first fish. Scraper 20, hopefully plenty more to come in this video. That's 5 fish landed between the two of us now. I think we've had 8 bites now between us, or maybe 7. We've only been fishing 2-3 hours as well. Fingers crossed there's plenty more of these.
Mega looking scales on it, really nice fish.
First com of the day and the first fish of a double take. Just popping this one in the sling and my other rod ripped off. The other one's a nice little mirror. But yeah, first common of the session. 4 fish now. 5 takes. We've had 7 fish in total, 9 takes. A few hours fishing. Can't complain at all. And get some photos of this one, pop it back and then do a video of the other one.
Yep.
Here's the second fish of that double take. Another 20 pounder, so 3 out of the 4 fish have hit the 20 pound mark. Fingers crossed this kind of action can keep going for both me and Jack. They're here until Thursday morning, so we've got a good, nearly 48 hours basically. Let's keep them coming. fish number 5, and what a fish it is, unbelievable. £27.10. Stunning looking fish. Can't quite believe it, to be honest. Came very shortly after I had a double take. Unfortunately I lost both of them. One of them weeded me up, couldn't get it out. 2-3 times I pulled it out of the weed, and while it had got me in the weed, my other rod went. But unfortunately there was a hook pull on that one, but I'm not complaining after landing this one. Unbelievable. Jack's just landed his 6th fish as well. He had another one earlier. A little bit of a mishap, stopped us from getting some photos though, unfortunately. But what a way to get your 5th fish. Right, I'm going to update now. Well, I've got myself a little bit of time. It's been an absolutely hectic day today. It's been non-stop ever since we got here. You saw me this morning with the introduction of the video, the fish within 10 minutes of being here. And then between me and Jack, it's just been absolutely non-stop. As I'm doing this update, Jack he's playing a fish now as well. And I think that'll be his 10th fish. I've had 7, lost 3. Up to an absolutely stunning £27 10-ounce mirror, near fully scaled mirror. It's been an unbelievably good day. We've got the right pegs. There were loads of fish showing in front of us this morning, which is why we decided to go here. We've got the tactics right, which I'll go through in a little bit more detail in a later update, but it's so simple, just solid bags into areas where we've seen fish. There's nobody else catching on the lake at all. Plenty, I mean, it's quite busy. There's another 1, 2, 3. There's probably another 10 people on the lake. Nobody else is catching apart from me and Jack. But everybody else seems to be spomming tons and tons of bait out. We've kept it simple. Solid bags in areas where we know that there are fish or have been fish showing. That's simple. Just little yellow baits, but like I said, I'll show you that in a bit more detail in another update. I am now going to reel my rods in. I'm going to have a chill out for an hour with Jack in his peg whilst we have a barbecue. I'm going to put the villa on as well. So yeah, what a day it's been so far. Fingers crossed tomorrow will be just the same. Maybe not as hot, hopefully not as hot tomorrow. Burnt, both of us have managed to catch the sun and we're really burnt, but didn't expect it, never mind. Catch you later. Okay, so I've just recast all 3 rods again with solid bags. Finished our barbecue. We've had a bit of a relaxed, bit of a drink. We're both absolutely shattered from everything that's gone on today. You know, it's been hard work, but it's been really enjoyable keeping on top of the solid bags, having to keep creating the solid bags, sorting out the videography, the videos, along with photographing the fish, making sure that we're taking care of the fish. Yeah, it's been really good, but it's been tough work. So I've had 7 now. Not sure whether I mentioned it in the last one, but when I had the 27 pounder, Rob Burgess actually came along and took the photos for me. And I also, at the same time, I had a 20 pound 4 mirror also, but I didn't take a proper video of that one, purely because Rob was there, and he was kind enough to take the photos of that fish for me as well. So yeah, I've had 7, Jack's now had 10, so he's managed another couple this evening before we actually had the barbecue. So in total we've had 17 fish. We've landed 17 fish. We've had 21 bites altogether. So we lost 4. I've lost 3 of them. But I do think it's because I had a huge trailing line. I thought it was weed. The first fish in particular that I lost, I thought it was weed that it was taking me into, but potentially it could have been stuck or wrapped around this trailing line. But now I've got that out the water, fingers crossed that, you know, I should be able to land all the rest of the bites that I get. So yeah, fingers crossed it was going to be exactly the same as tomorrow. You know, nice and hectic. Not sure what it's going to be like in the night. I'm going to tie me some more solid bags up fresh just in case, because you never know. I'm not bothered. It's the first time in a long time I've been on a 48-hour session, and I haven't even put a bed of bait out just in case. Been that confident with the solid bags throughout the whole day, and we're confident that the bites will keep coming on the solid bags as well. They're still showing right out in front of me now, so there's still fish around. The bites have quietened up for the last couple of hours, but that is expected. It does happen. You do get your lulls in bites, even when you're catching as many as me and Jack have. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to update. I'd like a fish in the night, it'd be good. So I'd like to do an update in the night, but if not, it's going to be a nice morning update. I'm going to finish watching the Villa game, get myself some rest. Slight change of tactics. I noticed that one of the guys just to the right of Jack, this morning had quite a few bites in quick succession off a bed of bait, and the fish looked like they'd moved further out. There were fish all over us this morning and through the night over solid bags, and we just couldn't get anything. So I decided to put a bed of bait out. 2 rods on the spot. I've kept 1 on a solid bag just to cast at some showing fish. But yeah, this one's been out now probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And it's gone off. There's a few fish showing in front of me now, so I'm hopeful that I can actually bag a couple more the rest of the day. Let's take some snaps of this one, slip it back and get the rod back in. There we go, second fish of the day for me. Paid off leaving 1 of my rods on solid bags, as I'd seen a few fish just quite short to the left of me. I'll flick this one out, round about in the kind of area that they were showing. Took a while, yeah, good couple of hours maybe on that spot. Stopped showing, but then out of the blue this one. Lovely 26 pound 10 common, biggest common of the session, second for me. Happy days. Smallest one of the session for me, just under £17. Just about managed to catch the take on camera as I was releasing that £26 common. Happy days. It's number 10 now. Here we go, fish number 13. Taking on that solid bag rod that I said I was going to keep just chucking out to show him fish. Just took down to the left hand side. Decided to have myself a rest after another couple of fish. I had 2 fish, one of them off the spot, a baited spot, smallest of the session at about £14, lovely looking little fish. And just as I was putting that one back, my left rod shot off, and that was the solid bag rig as well. That one was another common, so I've had 3 commons now during the session, and that was about £17. Lovely looking fish, absolutely tore off, nearly pulled my rod off the rest. So I'm up to, with this one now, I'm up to 13 fish. Deciding to keep that one rod for solid bags is working, and I keep doing that through the night, I think, and into the morning. Keep the 2 rods on the spot. I'll keep topping it up with bait if I have a fish off the spot. For every fish I'm catching, I'm just topping it up with 4 or 5 spawns, just making sure that they're accurate. So let's get some stills for this one, slip it back, and then I'll redo all my rods.
What's the matter? I'm smiling.
So what a hectic day it's been again today. Just coming towards the end of the second day, and it's been just as busy as it was yesterday, for me anyway. Jack still managed to land himself a couple of fish, but they do seem to have held up a little bit more towards my peg, a little bit further out as well. So our last video showed me landing my 14th fish, my seventh of the day, of about £18. All fish, the fish in this lake are absolutely stunning. But yeah, what a couple of days it has been for us both. But I thought I'd take this opportunity now just to talk you through a few bits and pieces that I've done, that me and Jack have done over the last couple of days. Starting from when we actually got here, a lot of people come to lakes like this, or complexes like this should I say, with a mindset of I'm going to go on Pettit's Lake, I'm going to go on Billy's Lake, I'm with, you know, targeting a specific lake, and you should never really do that. You can't predict how busy it's going to be when you get there. You can't predict whether there's going to be a peg available that you're actually going to be on fish. So the first thing we did was, when we got here, we had to look at the first 2 lakes that you come across, which was Billy's and Pettit's Lake. We had a good walk around Billy's. We went all the way around the lake, came back, spotted a few fish. Didn't just sit there and say, right, we're going to stay on Billy's. We thought we'd carry on and have a look at the other lakes, just to see if there were more fish available, if there were any better pegs, let's say. So we had another look. We then moved over to Pettit's Lake. We had a look around Pettit's, but instantly we could see it was quite busy. There were a couple of pegs free. A couple of pegs free that actually looked like they might have been able to do bites. Can't remember the number of the pegs. I think it was peg 1 and peg 3 were available, and there was a lad in peg 2 who was actually catching fish, but it would have meant that me and Jack would have been separate, and the fish seemed to be holding up in the middle of the lake out in front of peg 2, and it was peg 2's water where the fish were, so didn't really fancy that. So then we went over to have a look at Turner's Lake, which we know has got quite a good head of fish in there, but again it was fairly busy. There were only 5 or 6 pegs available on the lake. A couple of the pegs that were available were in really deep water, and with the temperatures as they are, we've got the water temperature still quite high. We had a couple of days where we were expecting sunny spells as well, so we didn't really fancy going into too deeper water. So we then ended up coming back on Billy's because we'd seen fish, we knew we could get on fish, and then when we got back to Billy's, we stayed right by where the main entrance is, the tackle van and the tackle shop is. A couple of pegs close to there. One's the disabled swim. I actually think it's peg 22 I'm in, and peg 21 one further down. The 2 swims there. There was just fish just everywhere, and there were anything from 10 yards out to 50, 60, 100 yards out. They were all over the place. So we made our minds based on the fact that there were a lot of fish there, and that was our best chance of catching a few. So we then just flipped to see who got the first choice of the peg, and luckily for me it was I won the toss. So I chose this disabled swim. Lovely layout, lots and lots and lots of room. I'd already got myself, I knew what I was going to do as soon as I got here. I'd pre-prepared some PVA bags, some solid bags at home, so that I could just flick them out as soon as I got there, whilst I got everything else ready, and that's exactly what I did. Waited until I saw some fish, cast each of the solid bags out at the fish. Now in the solid bags I'd put a mixture of 4, 6 and 2mm pellets, and they're all CC Moore pellets, CC Moore Pacific tuna pellets, because that's the main bait that I use, so I bought the pellets to go with it. That was in a small PVA bag, and the rig I used, nothing at all fancy, just a very, very straightforward coated braid, stripped back halfway, very short hook link with a slight bit of shrink tubing on a size 4 barbless wide gap, because it's barbless rules here. Slight bit of shrink tubing with a curve on it, just to try and nail the fish every time that the fish picked up the bait. And on some of the rigs, because I hadn't got many left, probably should have bought some more, but I got a little sinker on as well, just to make sure that the actual braided hook link actually sat down in all of the pellets in the PVA bag. And funnily enough, that was the first. That's how the PVA bag fishing started yesterday. That's all I used yesterday. Just kept tying up lots and lots of different solid bags. Every time I had a fish, just casting to showing fish. Or towards the end of the day, I'd found a bit of an area, and I was just every solid bag went into the same kind of area. The fish closer in didn't seem to be taking. I couldn't catch anything closer in, so that was that. So all day I used solid bags, but in the night, me and Jack had absolutely nothing, not a sniff. We had solid bags out all night and nothing. Jack had one on a solid bag, but that was at about 5 o'clock this morning. But yeah, really slow. However, when Jack had that, while Jack was playing the fish, we noticed that the that the lad to the right of him in peg 20 was playing a fish, and it turned out that within the space of half an hour he'd had four or five takes, and that was on a baited area, which made me then decide to actually have a little bit of a change today. So I found a spot. I actually found the spot as soon as I got into the peg. A lovely spot of about 8 foot, really clear. There's lots of 10 to 14 foot areas around, so 8 foot was absolutely perfect. So I found that spot again, put about 15 spoms out, really accurate. Two rigs on there. One of the rigs, well, you know what rigs I use if you've watched any of my videos before. I love an IQD rig, so I had 2 IQD rigs out there, but one of them was on a Match the Hatch wafter Pacific tuna, and the other was on corn poppers, of course. So yeah, corn poppers, they're just really simple, bright pieces of boilie that look like corn, so 2 of those. And I've now had four fish over the baited area over the day. So every time I've caught a fish, I've just put another 4 or 5 spoms out, making sure that at least 4 of them are dead accurate. If one of them went off the spot a little bit, I'd make sure to put another one out. So I wouldn't be happy unless I get 4 spoms on the spot accurately. And that's what's worked for me. Today though, I have made sure to keep 1 rod on solid bags, because it was so prolific for me and Jack yesterday. I'd have been silly not to do that, and I've had three fish off solid bags as well today, just doing exactly the same thing. Spotted an area where fish kept showing and just kept putting solid bags into that area. So in the solid bag as well, what I forgot to say was the hook bait is just a very straightforward Northern Special dumbbell wafter, 14mm. So really straightforward. Not that it makes any difference, but some of them I kept whole and some of them I just trimmed down a little bit to make them a bit smaller. It's not really made too much of a difference. But yeah, that's how I've managed to land all to catch these fish. I've lost 3 as well. You know, disappointed with that, to be honest, but I can't complain at the fact that I've managed to land 14 fish so far. There's still this evening, and there's still tonight and tomorrow morning to go as well. Thoroughly enjoyed the session so far. It's been really good company with Jack. It always is. Always learn a lot from Jack. If you don't subscribe to Jack already, pop over to his channel. It's Jack's Carp Fishing UK. Check out some of his videos and some of the socials that we've had on Linear. We've had a social here on Petit's Lake as well. You'll see some cracking videos from him. You'll also see some videos of him working on a fishery himself, him doing some improvements to some of the pegs. Cracking lad, cracking company. Some really good fishing. You never know, might still manage to catch a few more as well. Proof is in the pudding, they say. Only 10 minutes after doing that 8-minute long video talking through the tactics of yesterday and today, this one went off. 4 spoms, right on the money. There you go. Wafter this one. The majority of the fish off the spot seem to have come off the wafter, to be fair. So I'm going to swap the other one that's on corn poppers at the moment over to a wafter as well. So I'll have 2 wafters overnight. £16. Nice. There we go. So that 10 minutes after changing over from corn poppers to a wafter, this one's off and away. Fish number 16. Lovely linear. I'll do. Nice quick. Right, good morning. So, yeah, another fruitless night last night. So it's 2 nights, both nights, nothing for me. Jack has managed to land himself a 16 pounder in the night. Well, say in the night, it was 3 AM this morning. Didn't bother waking me up to take any videos or photos. I had to take this morning at 6:45 as well. Unfortunately the hook pulled on that one. It does happen with barber sucks. It didn't take me in the weed or anything, it was just simply a hook pull. But yeah, barber sucks that's bound to happen with a fish or two. So 16 fish landed for me during the session, 12 landed for Jack during the session. We've lost a few, so we've had plenty of bites. So yeah, couldn't really have gone any better. Last opportunity for me now. I've recast the rod, 4 more spoms on the spot, deadly accurate. So I've got an hour now, maybe, while I'm packing away to see if I can nick 1 more fish. If not, thank you for watching.